Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beer Nation. I'm your host Chris. Thank you so much for joining me once again for another, what I hope is a pretty good beer review. And finally, we're coming back to the East Coast for a beer. New England to be exact, Portland, Maine to be even more exact. This, my friends, is from Shipyard Brewing. This is their Smashed Blueberry Ale. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume, available right now. It's part of the Pugsley Signature Series, which are a series of beers that Alan Pugsley, the brewmaster for Shipyard, will put out every couple months. He puts out a different one. It's a bigger, kind of intense, kind of experimental, maybe a fruit beer or a barley wine or an imperial IPA, something like that. But he releases those, and that's part of this series. It's a self-proclaimed Scotch Ale / porter hybrid with blueberries added to it, so I'm looking forward to it. Sounds really, really interesting. It sounds like a beer that's kind of meant to be savored. So with that said, let me get into a glass so you guys know how it smells, tastes, and give you the verdict on Shipyard's Smashed Blueberry. All right guys, so the appearance on the Smashed Blueberry, well, it really does live up to its proclaimed hybrid between a porter and a Scotch Ale. Right at the bottom of the glass and along the curves of the glass where the light's hitting, I'm getting a dark ruby red like you get in a Scotch Ale. Middle of the glass, kind of the top where the head meets, I'm getting a dark brown to almost a light black like a light stout or a porter would have. There was about a finger to a finger and a half worth of a nice tight white, big, rocky head on there. There's a nice kind of espresso colored, khaki colored head on this one. I'm getting decent lacing, as you guys can see in here. Nice carbonation coming off the side of the glass where the beer meets. There are some alcohol legs in there. Overall though, I mean, it's a strange looking beer, but it really lives up to what it says it is. All right, the aroma on the Smashed Blueberry. Wow, yeah, you're getting that big blueberry sweetness coming through. It doesn't smell, it smells like really overly ripe blueberry skins, but it doesn't have that fake kind of, Kool-Aid blueberry smell to it. There's nice sweetness in there, getting a nice, a slight roasted character to it. There's a nice sweet bready malt, like you get in a Scotch Ale coming through. Yeah, overall it's just a kind of a roasted sweet blueberry, big aroma coming through in this one. It's an interesting smelling beer. I've never smelled anything like it. All right, so the taste on the Smashed Blueberry. Cheers. Wow, right at the front of the tongue, getting that big blueberry sweetness in there. Not overly sweet, and it dissipates really quickly, but it's a ripe, super ripe blueberry kind of flavor right at the front of the tongue. There's a nice bitterness in there as well, like a dark chocolate, milk chocolate, espresso notes that you would expect to taste in a porter or a stout. Definitely coming through. Middle of the mouth, wow, the mouthfeel on this thing is crazy. Lots of sweet malts, lots of breadiness, just coating the mouth. And those blueberries, again, are kind of coming through in the middle mouth, but a lot lighter. They help to kind of cut the sweetness with adding a little bit of a tart, kind of acidic character to it. Back of the throat, it's a nice sweet to semi-dry finish. Aftertaste, I'm getting sweet blueberries, dark chocolate, kind of a roasted character to it, and those sweet malts from your traditional Scotch Ale are coming through. A nice yeast quality in this one. I'm definitely getting a fruity kind of ester from the yeast. You do taste the alcohol a little bit, but it really helps to blend with those blueberries, and the blueberries really help to cut through a lot of the bigger flavors in this one. Nice carbonation, help the palate keep cleaning. Really well-crafted beer, and an interesting beer at that. All right guys, so the final verdict on the Shipyard Smashed Blueberry, coming at 9%, available now from the Pugsley Signature Series. I gotta give this one an A-. I think as far as fruit beers goes, it really kind of elevates the bar. This one claiming to be a porter / Scotch Ale hybrid, and you really do get those. You get, the sweet malts like you do in a Scotch Ale, but at the same time you get those dark chocolate notes, espresso, a really big roasted character from the quote porter character in this one. At the same time, what's the unifying factor in those two? Well, it's the blueberries. They really come through. It's a nice ripe blueberry skin. It's not overly sweet. It doesn't have that fake taste to it. And it really helps to meld those two styles together by bringing that, that blueberry sweetness in there. With that said, I'm going to give this one an A-. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's a great fruit beer for people who don't like fruit beers. So with that said, Shipyard Brewing Smashed Blueberry getting an A- from me. And remember folks, life is too short. Drink an egg beer. Cheers.